YouTube? Welcome back to the Allegheny Northern, an N-scale layout. Today we're going to cover not the trains. We're actually going to cover the other vehicles that are on the layout. And this is another impromptu video from comments, folks who have stopped by the channel and wanted to know where the vehicles have come from. Obviously, if you've seen my videos, you've seen that there's quite a few different scenes that are vehicle heavy. Everything from the construction scenes, the road scenes, the intermodal, all have various vehicles in it. So I wanted to take a time out and sort of address those questions so that you can see what I've got. Now, the good news is most of the items that are on the layout are available. And some of the items, they're not so much available. So what you're looking at here now is a kit that is available, and as I go through this, I will outline which ones you can get and which ones you may have a little bit of trouble finding. So this is just a Railway Express Miniatures. It's a 100-ton Electra. It's a haul mining truck, and that is exactly where mine's going. It's going to go in the mine. I am going to do things a little differently. I'm going to paint it up for Caterpillar. That's just a preference of mine, even though it's maybe not totally prototypical. If I hadn't told you that, you may not have known. The other thing that I really like as far as vehicles go is showcase miniatures. They are also metal kits. They come in these really nice jewel cases, and I definitely save that foam because it's great for when you're working on other models to protect it. There you see, I've got them sitting right there. But Showcase Miniatures puts out some really nice vehicles, and I'll tell you what, if you paint them up right and you put them together nicely, they really look good. So I definitely recommend Showcase Miniatures. And then of course I think I've got 3 or 4 Railway Express Miniatures vehicles, and I'll point those out to you as well. I should point out that these comments that I'm making, none of these are paid comments, so everything you're getting is truthful from my own experience. I'll tell you what's good, what's bad, and we can go from there. So if you got your cup of coffee, follow along. Okay, we'll start up here. Here is the other Electra model that I've already built. For some reason, I grabbed the wrong paint when I painted this, and I used a gloss, so that's why it looks really shiny. So this one's gonna get a repaint before it goes into the onto the layout. The road grader, the scraper, which has a coal load in it now. I don't know if you can see that or not. Those are from a company called GHQ. They are available, as well as the dump truck. This drag line is actually 2 kits. The drag line comes as a separate piece that was purchased, and then of course the crane body was another. These are all metal kits, so that's gonna look at home in the coal mine. I'll be honest with you, I think the drag line is really cool. That's just black thread that I use to actually rig the crane to make it look correctly, but that's pretty sweet. This dozer, which looks a little bit tiny up compared, this is actually a 3D print. This is from Shapeways, so the detail on it's really good. They're difficult to paint when you get them from Shapeways, only because they're fully assembled. So you really have to take your time, and it's a bit to get them painted, but they're very cool models, and the different sellers that have them have varying degrees of skills in their models. So some look a little better than others, and obviously the price is dependent upon that. So now these guys, these are the pride and joy. These are actually imports from Japan. They're from a company. I'm a little confused on the legacy of them. There's a Tommy Tech and a Tamika. I don't know if they're the same company or they just made things similar. But in any event, the supply of them has sort of sort of dried up. So here's a dozer, and the nice thing is they're positionable. So even the excavator, it raises and it lowers, and you can dump it and it rotates. So you can actually change the position of them, you know, if you want to. If you find these things, I paid about between $20 and $25 each for them. And if you find them, grab them. This is one, it's a little out of scale, so I try to hide it, you know, somewhere where it's not going to be near something that's obvious. But it's the same deal. You know, it's positionable, so they're pretty nice. This one's a little closer to scale. They're about, I think they're about 1/50th scale. So they're a little bit smaller than your 1/60th scale. I'm sorry, a little bit larger. So you gotta be a little careful how you place them, but they look right against the layout. So that's some of the equipment here. That's okay, I think everybody recognizes the Cato forklifts. That travel crane there, that's from a Walther's kit, and then you've got the that's another Cato, as well as the Cato container cranes that are positionable, so they're nice. The trailers are from Trainworks. This skeleton here is from a company called Jacksonville Terminal. They make containers and trailer parts, and they're actually really nice, detailed. And then there's a mix back there of Atlas, I think some Athearn, and there may be some Trainworks trailers back there with the roadway and UPS and that sort of stuff. And then of course the stacker, which is Wheels of Time. I believe those are out of production. Everything else here you can still get. Back around here to the quarry, and you see a couple more of those highly positionable excavators and dozers. Now these ones have been weathered up a little bit. And there's the kind of the oversized front loader, but it's loading a rail car, and when they're kind of off on their own, they actually don't look too terribly out of place. So I'm using them as I can there. And then when we slide up into the winter scene, we have a GHQ snowplow. I'll zoom in there for you. And then the second one is a GHQ snowplow, but I added a wing. So for those of you in the northern climates that see these all the time, I'm sure it's either a welcome sight or a hated sight, depending on whether you like snow or not. But I wanted to get a wing plow, and then custom built. This is a GHQ. It actually starts off as a log loader, but I built a wing for it out of just scrap styrene, and then that plow bucket that you see there, it actually belongs to one of the Tamika models, and I just fitted it onto that loader. So that's going to take care of my winter scenes. Okay, up here in the north we had the Marcellus Shale discovery, which resulted in all kind of oil drilling, gas drilling, and now they're working on the transmission line. So I wanted to include that as part of my layout. So what we have here is two cranes. They're actually side booms mounted on a tractor body, and they can be used either for railway, which is to re-rail cars and locomotives, but they also use them in the pipe industry to put pipe in the ground. So eventually these two units are going to be side by side, and they're going to have a sling and holding that pipe up in the air, which would be pretty cool. There's the GHQ log loader that you saw earlier. Instead of being in a snowplow configuration, there it is as the kit intended it to be. And then there's another one of our Tamika excavators. The work truck, I believe, is an Atlas, and then that dozer is GHQ as well. Now, when we come back here, the road milling machine, the dump trucks, triaxles there, those are all 3D printed. And then when you come down here, the lowboy is a Showcase Miniatures, and the paver sitting on top of it is a 3D print from Shapeways as well. And as we dance around the back here, there's another Japanese import. That's a Tamika. Kind of looks like a, I guess, almost looks like a tie crane, but I'm using it in the scrapyard. And there's a GHQ. That actually might be a Railway Express Miniatures. It's a log loader kit that I turned into a scrap crane from the same kit of extra parts that the dragline came from. So the harbor scene's coming up here, and when it does, I've got 2 cranes. The cranes do not have this rigging in it. I rigged them to look like actual cranes, and I may actually take these really plasticky looking hooks off of them and do my own hooks for those. This is another Tamika pickup, and here's a sort of an odd piece of equipment. It's a road reclaimer soil stabilizer. It looks like the Caterpillar version. It is a 3D print from Shapeways. As we drop down to the power plant, that's a Showcase Miniatures boom truck. The boom does go up and down if you build the kit right. So that's definitely a win. And then we come into the front. So we have a Railway Showcase Miniatures high rail dump, a ballast regulator, Kershaw tie crane, and then we've got a 3D printed backhoe loader, 3D printed zero swing excavator. There's another one of our Tamika tie cranes, and that is also a Railway Express Miniatures tie crane and cart. In the back, maintenance away vehicle, that's a Showcase Miniatures truck. All the parts and pieces come separate. You got to paint them. It's all metal kit. Looks really nice when it's assembled. Here at the transloader and the bulk carrier, these are all 3D printed. And then here's a finished model of the kit that I showed you earlier in the case. So that's what it looks like when it's done. You get the little extra forklift, and you get the flatbed truck. And if you want to have a little bit of fun, there's the Batmobile heading into the Bat Cave, just for fun. Okay, the road roller, the street sweeper, and the asphalt paver are all from Tommy Tech Tamika. They're a little bit smaller than N scale, but they work out well. GHQ makes the metal kit roller there. They also make this dump truck right here. This one, however, Showcase Miniatures. And we've got another one of the Atlas crew trucks. And then we come over here to the Roto Mill, 3D printed from Shapeways. I should tell you that this support structure up here has some custom parts in it, left over from other metal kits. And also the handrail at the side is made from brass piano wire. So there's a few added parts to there if you see that on Shapeways. And then GHQ makes the lowboy, which I built separated for loading. So I have a little trouble focusing here, but metal kits, once again, you can get them all painted up. We'll travel along into town here. And Trainworks makes the FedEx doubles there. And then some Woodland Scene Accents. Those are all available. GHQ makes this lonely little forklift. Metal kit. Alright. A company called Norscott makes the little excavator sitting on top of that heavy haul flatbed. That heavy haul flatbed is another Tamika, as well as those demo excavators. Once again, they are fully positionable. So you can change the scene if you want to, but they're pretty cool. And then there's an Athearn cement truck. I don't know if the Athearn cement truck is available anymore, but I actually I sort of broke it apart to make and put the chute together. So they don't come like that. I cut the folded back part off, and I took the extra pieces and I glued them together. So I actually have a cement truck putting down cement. So, all right, GHQ. The next might be Railway Express Ventures, makes the travel crane on top of the gonds. And then there's another one of our metal kit sitting on my wreck train. And then there is a Showcase Miniatures high rail with a tie crane attachment on it. There's a CSX Atlas pickup. And then two more Showcase Miniatures maintenance of way vehicles. This is actually just a boom truck that I painted in maintenance of way. They do give you the option. The booms go come either up or down. So you would pick which one you want and you attach it. So you really can't make them positionable because of, it's telescopic. I guess you could build your own boom. So good marketing ploy. You have to buy two if you want one up and one down. And I almost forgot about this little guy. He's another one of the excuse me, one of the Tamika crane pieces here. He does have rail wheels, and they are engaged. So if you actually want to put him on the tracks, those rails, the rails will hit the wheels, which is nice. And then there's another backhoe loader. This one is from back from Norscott. I believe these are still available, but a little bit positionable. They don't look too bad. Not quite in scale, so I try not to put them next to other items that are in scale. And that is the vehicles on the layout.